What is up, guys? Welcome back to Dan's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video. This one is going to be doing a video talking about The Walking Dead Season 4, so of course, if you guys did not know, we are doing a season recap each week leading up to the Walking Dead Season 9 second half return, which is almost just like a month away now, so that's really cool. I'm super excited for The Walking Dead to return, but of course, now we're going to be doing Season 4 of The Walking Dead recap, a look back at Season 4. So, like I said, we did Season 1, we did Season 2, we did Season 3, and now we're doing Season 4. So, of course, next week we'll be doing The Walking Dead Season 5, which I'm actually currently doing throwback reviews for the individual episodes of that season. So, yeah, that's going to be quite some fun to go ahead and do that next week. But Season 4. So, I went back and I watched quite a few of these episodes again, and I really enjoyed this season a lot. I think this is an amazing season. I would definitely say I think that Season 4 is a better season than, at least I would say it's better than seasons like 1, maybe better than season... Oh, man, that's tough to decide if it's better than Season 2 or not, but Season 4 is quite the amazing season. I mean, you have some amazing episodes like, Interment, Too Far Gone, After was really good, Claimed, The Grove, like, those are some really great episodes. Now, I will say, if I'm gonna say one negative thing about this season, I think Still is probably the worst episode of maybe The Walking Dead entire series, or at least one of them. So, that is a negative about this season, is that it does have one of the worst episodes ever of the Walking Dead television series, but even though that's true, I still enjoy it, and I still enjoy the season, but yeah, Still is definitely not the best episode. So, let's talk about the season a little bit, and, we'll kind of give our thoughts. So, I really think this season starts off good. We have 30 Days Without an Accident is the first episode of this season. Now, I do view this as one of the weakest premieres Walking Dead has ever done, and it's not really it's not really fair, because it's not, the way the episode is written, it probably sounds more epic than the actual, episode is, the live action, because I don't know. It's kind of a calm episode. It almost doesn't even feel as epic as almost like every other episode this season. Like, really when you think about it, like episode 2 is probably better. Like almost every episode's better than the premiere, except for maybe Still. But, that doesn't change the fact that I do like the premiere. It's just not one of the best ones. It's definitely one of the most one of the weakest episodes this season. So that's that. Then we have episode 2, which is Infected, where we kind of get started with the flu illness storyline. We get Carol, who ends up killing Karen and David. And then, of course, we have the kind of Walkers in D part, Subblock D, where, Glenn and everybody, they're running or whatever, and then everybody, everything's crazy. You've got Lizzie and Mika's father, who gets killed in this one as well. Well, gets bitten, and then Carol puts him down or whatever. And then, of course, we have, we have that, and then we have some of the, crazy scenes with the fence, where they're trying to keep the fence down or whatever, which was really cool. Now, of course, the walkers are pushing at the fence in the scene, which is, I found to be really exciting, and I like how Rick figures to himself, he's just like, well, okay, we don't know if it's the pigs that, started this illness or just whatever, but, the pigs, some of them are sick, so, Rick decides, he asks Daryl, he's like, grab the truck, I know what to do. So he goes out there, of course, and it's a crazy, gruesome scene where he's cutting the pigs or whatever, and he's feeding them to the walkers. Really kind of a sad scene. They made that scene feel really sad, even though it's just a scene of, them bleeding out pigs. But it's a pretty sad scene when you watch it through. It actually is. I found that to be really sad, actually. So, then we have Isolation, episode 3. This one, for me, was kind of a episode where, there's a lot of stuff going on in different, with different characters. You've got, like, the fight between Rick and Tyrese. You've got Daryl and the others who go and try to get the medication for the, the illness or whatever. Run into a huge zombie herd along the way, which is awesome. You've got Carol and Rick, kind of the stuff between them. And did you kill Karen and David? Yes, I did, I like that part as well. And then you've got, a few little quick scenes with Rick and Carol kind of talking, like when Rick has to go outside the fence to help Carol because the walkers are coming for her and stuff. So, really awesome episode there. Then we have episode 4, where, of course, this is the one where Rick kicks out Carol, from the group, and, we get to see Sam and that other lady or whatever. Now, I found this episode to be great. I really did. I think this one was cool because we never got to see something like that, where Rick actually kicks out one of his own from the group. It's something we've never seen before, and that's why I think I like that episode so much. But it was an exciting one, that's for sure. Yeah, episode 4. Then we have episode 5, which was Interment, where Herschel. Now, this one was incredible. I mean, you want to talk an episode that's exciting all the way through. The illness kind of wraps up in this one. Which it's like, yeah, it's about time, but, really. And basically in this one we get to see, Herschel help everybody, and, we get the end of the illness where Daryl and the others come back with the medication and stuff, and, they can actually help the illness and stuff. So, really cool episode. Really like the stuff with Rick and Carl, too, where they're firing off the machine guns and clearing out the walkers. I really like that, because it's like Rick realizes at that point that, Carl is not, his little boy anymore. He's he's a man at this point. So, that's another scene I really like. So, then we have Live Bait and Deadweight, or Deadwing, or something like that. I enjoyed these episodes with the Governor. I really did. I thought these were great. Definitely not one of the best episodes of the season, but I did like seeing where he was at throughout the series. And we get to see some crazy stuff, like the death of, Martinez. We get to see him have his new family, his new group, form his new group, and then, attack the prison. So, that said, speaking of attacking the prison, Too Far Gone, episode 8. So, this is always going to be one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead ever. I think that's pretty much a given. I think Too Far Gone will always be one of the best episodes, and, I mean, we got the death of Herschel, we got the death of the Governor, we got the end of the prison, we have, just the characters being, scattered all over the place, which that's the thing, too. It really sets up the rest of the season where they're all separated. So, that's just an amazing episode, and I love the scene where Michonne, when you see the sword through come the Governor, it's like, oh my god, when you see that the first time, it's like, wow, that came out of nowhere. So, really enjoyed that episode a lot. Still, to this day, one of the best episodes ever. So, then we have the second half. We have After with Rick and Carl, which I love this episode because it's kind of a Carl episode, but we get to see Michonne as well and what she's up to, so I enjoyed that one a lot. And then we have Inmates, where we get to see Beth and Daryl, we get to see Tyrese's group with the girls, we get to see Maggie, Sasha, and Bob, and we get to see Glenn with Tara, and the introduction of Abraham's group. So that was another great one. So then we have Claimed, which is another amazing episode, one of the best episodes of this season, where basically we have the beginning of Joe's group in this one. You guys remember where Rick is hiding under the bed, and he kills that guy in the bathroom, and he finds his murder coat, the brown coat with the fur collar or whatever. So that's when he finds his new coat. So I think he just found that in the house somewhere. But, it was so intense. It was so intense where, you remember the scene where Joe was bouncing the ball and he's hitting the wall, and Rick is literally right there, like hiding behind that shelf part or whatever. Oh my god. I was on the edge of my seat when I was seeing that. I was like, is Rick just going to try to come out and do something? Or, just what on earth is going to happen? Because, honestly, that was so close. Like, Rick was so close to being caught in the house that time. So, that was crazy. So, then we have Abraham's group with Glenn, and of course they have a little bit of a fight, which was also cool. We kind of get the beginning of Abraham's, story. And then we have, Carl and Michonne going to, look for supplies and all that stuff. Talking about Michonne's baby and stuff, Andre and all that stuff. So, that was an awesome episode. So, then we get Still. I mean, this one, it's just a Daryl and Beth episode the entire time. The idea of this one is that, at first, Daryl doesn't really connect with Beth that much. They never had that many scenes together prior. Now, they kind of, at first, they're kind of driving each other crazy. By the end of it, they kind of have some kind of bond, I guess. Beth kind of connects with Daryl. Not romantically, I don't think that's where they were trying to go with it. I think it was more of a good friendship type of thing they were starting to build. So, I mean, I enjoyed that one. I did like when they burnt the house down and then they kind of give it the finger. I enjoyed that. It was cool. It's just, it's not the best episode compared to some of the others. That's for sure. It's the weakest episode of season 4, at least. That's a guarantee from me. Then we have Alone with Sasha, Maggie, Bob. Those were the main characters of this episode. But then we also have Beth getting captured. So that was another awesome part. And then Daryl running into Joe's group at the end. That was another awesome part. So then we have The Grove. So Oh man, this was one that people still think this is like the best episode ever. Now, I don't think it's the best episode of Walking Dead. I think Walking Dead's done way better than this, but this was an awesome episode, and especially when it first came out. We had the death of Mika, we had the death of Lizzie, Carol having no choice but to do that, and I mean, it's such an iconic scene now. Everybody has everybody, you know, says, like, I've heard so many people making the joke of, look at the flowers. It's not even funny. And this episode, it's such an awesome episode for Carol, you know, because she survives on so much longer than I thought she would, you know, after this. So, you know, really at this point, and her becoming one of the main characters, where at the beginning of the series, she was like a background character almost. Now, you know, this is the episode, I feel like, that kind of brought her to being one of the main characters of the series. So, a great episode for her as well. Then we have episode 15, which is US or Us, whichever one. I think it's supposed to be Us. But this is the one, of course, where Glenn and Maggie find each other again. This one was great, too, because we get to see Terminus at the end for, like, the first time. You know, the whole half season they're, you know, heading there, and they finally get there at the end. So that was awesome. I enjoyed that a lot. And we get to see tons of awesome scenes in this one, like the sequence. I love the part, too, where they're in the car or whatever. You got Rosita, Eugene, and Abraham's asleep or whatever. And, you know, Eugene rolls the seat down and hits Abraham in the face or whatever. And he's like, why'd we stop? And he's like, he told me to stop. And he's like, you don't stop. You never stop, you know. And they're just arguing back and forth. I love that part right there, where Eugene is kind of just like, you know, this wasn't your plan, you know. You know, and she's like, you know, Rosita's just like, you know, why you insisted on, you know, mapping, and why you told him to go to sleep, you know, and he's like, no, and I never claimed otherwise, you know. So awesome stuff between them. Like I said, we have the beginning of Terminus with Daryl's group with Joe, and a quick scene with Rick and Michonne and Carl. So yeah, then we have A. So the big season finale, of course. This is another amazing episode. This is one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead ever. One of the best finales. I mean, we have, you know, the death of Joe. Awesome Rick scene. That was amazing. And still to this day, one of the most memorable Rick parts. Probably always will be, since it's pretty much it for Rick in the show now. So, yeah, that's that. And then we, of course, get the You're My Brother scene. That was an awesome scene. And then they go to Terminus, and they get captured. So, I mean, and they get reunited with everybody else in the train car. So, you want to talk an awesome season, I'd say this is it. I mean, you know, there are some problems with this season. I don't think it's perfect. I do think that maybe there are seasons that are better than season 4, but you gotta admit, some of those episodes were awesome. And I do like the feel of the second half, where the characters are split up. And it's kind of this story where, you know, they're all split up and they all have different storylines going on. I enjoyed that. I think that's great. So, next weekend we'll do Season 5. Awesome season for Season 4. And, yeah, I'll end the video here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.